Hey, hey, hey. Time for another out of this world story from rSpace. Was my wife having an emotional affair? Need advice. Don't know if I'm thinking too much or not, but here it goes. My wife and I have been together for 24 years. We are happily married with 3 kids, have great sex, lots of snuggle time, and we are each other's best friends. The other day, when she went out to take the kids to an event, like a 5-year-old child, I went on her iPad to see if she bought me something I wanted for Christmas. I know, stupid. Anyways, Facebook Messenger popped up with a conversation that has been ongoing, on and off, since August of this year, with a guy she briefly dated in high school. The guy is recently divorced, down on his luck with and fighting for custody of his child. He initiated reaching out to my wife. The conversations were like, "Hey, beautiful," which really bothers me. She responded a single time by saying back, "Hey, handsome." Again, might be nothing to some people, but it bothered me. The posts were again mostly innocent. Him reaching out to her saying, "Hey, what's up?" Talking about his divorce and his kids. He noted once that she looked hot back in high school. The posts took a little bit of a different path a month ago. He told her he had a dream about her in which she shared naughty pictures of herself with him, and I was okay with it because I do bad stuff myself. She didn't really say much to the post, maybe an LOL at most. But to me, this was not a dream. He was trolling. He said something about never getting a chance to see her naked in high school. She did say they never slept together. She did ask the next time they talked if he had any more dreams. He said still waiting for pictures and said he would wreck his car if she sent them now. She just replied, "I almost spit out my coffee. Just watch the road." I confronted her about the entire thing. She claims he only saw him as a friend, said there was no attraction and didn't even really think anything of his dream, just claiming he was kinda goofy like that, even back in high school. Part of me wants to believe her, as we have talked on end about this, but part of me feels there could have been something more. We don't have secrets from each other, and honestly, we don't really keep friends of the opposite sex, especially people we both don't know mutually. I asked why she never mentioned him, and she said she thought it would have bothered me. We are super close, always have been madly in love, and this is why this, even if it seems like nothing to most people, hurts that much more. I asked her how she would feel if this was me, and the shoe was on the other foot, and she said she would hurt. But also, she says I'm making something out of nothing. Our first reaction comes from Saint Mr. Jr. Ask her exactly why she didn't put a stop to it when he started asking about her without clothes on. She didn't cheat, in my opinion, but she certainly didn't put up any sort of boundaries, and that in itself is concerning enough to warrant another conversation. Hola Les Amigos chimes in. How do you even know she's not lying about being attracted to him? Doesn't matter whether or not she's attracted to him or not. She still betrayed you and borderline cheated. DOP responds, "How will I ever know that? I literally was up from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. having a deep conversation about this. She never budged. So she is either really good at keeping a lie, which I don't believe, or believes in her mind she did nothing wrong. The truth is somewhere in between, I fear." Next up, Sad Second 9646. It would be nothing if she had stopped talking to him the first time he crossed the line. These boards are stuffed to the gills with stories of just friends turning into an affair. Men and women who slid down that slope without even realizing it. She can't have further contact with him. It's serious stuff. Ipso Pacto Facto thinks, men don't talk to women about being naked unless they are hoping to see the woman naked. She's going down a dangerous path. Infidelity is when energy and affection and interest in flirting that should be going to your spouse is going somewhere else. Granok has her last bit of advice. Walking the road. She told you nothing about him because she knew that it would bother you. Why? Because she would be bothered as well if you call other women in secret conversations beautiful, or ask them if they had any more dreams after they just told you that they had dreams that you send them nudes of yourself. And yes, she was thinking a lot about his dream, hence why she asked him if he had any more dreams. She wanted to hear more about the naughty stuff that happened in his dreams. She crossed a ton of boundaries here. In my opinion, cheating starts if you do something that you have to hide from your partner, which she did. Where would all that have led to? Who knows? But it already led to her lying to you by omission. A step that only leads into one direction. A direction where she makes decisions for the contact to the guy and against you, just like she did until now. Ask her right away how she would feel if you would do the same, and if this is the new kind of relationship you have now, where you have conversations with people from the other gender that you need to hide from your partner. Be hard, be direct, and be stern. She overstepped a line massively here. If you let that go now, then this was just the first of many more to come. On to the next story. Wife, 28 woman, screwed my cousin, 23 male, while I was at work. Still don't know what to do. Tried leaving, but she got on her knees and begged that I didn't. She said she was on Xanax and wouldn't have done it if she was sober. My cousin doesn't know I know. I want to beat the living crap out of him, because all I ever did was love and support him. He has major mental depression issues, but I won't touch him. I'm not that dumb. She only confessed because we were all hanging out, drinking, singing rock songs on karaoke, when another cousin said they were going to go pick him up. I said fine, but he better not start problems. He gets aggressive when he drinks. So like 2 hours later, he calls me. I don't answer because I was in the middle of a song. Cousin never shows up. The next day, my wife tells me she did stuff with him and couldn't let me hear it from anybody else, so she told me before my cousin did or some crap. I don't know what to do. I'm not a perfect husband, but I've never cheated on her. I work full time and pay every bill she's had in the last 7 years. We have a 3-year-old that I'd hate to mess her up mentally with split up parents around Christmas time. I don't know what to do. First reaction comes from Ron Didon. Not her blaming drugs, shake my head. Cheaters refuse to take accountability because the entire truth is a lot uglier. Another thought coming from Throw a Viral Email. Cheaters always blame something else for their cheating. They feel the guilt and have to suppress it. The sickest thing is that they then blame you, the betrayed spouse, when it gets tough for them and they can't suppress their guilt any further. Emergency Ad 3355 thinks, this is a mess. Talk to an attorney about divorce. This will live in your mind for years. Her excuse does not work. She knew what she was doing when she chose to have sex with your cousin. The problem is you only found out now. How many other times have they hooked up? Has she had sex with other men she is not telling you about? The problem is cheaters will lie. They will only tell you what they think you already know. You need to tell your friends and both families about her and your cousin's affair. Get tested for STDs. You should also consider getting a DNA test for your kids. Mrs. Jingles 0729 says, either she willingly had sex or she needs to file charges against him. Don't let her make excuses for her poor and selfish choice. DOP responded, she said he made the move on her, but because of her being intoxicated, she went with it. What bothers me more is she only told me when she thought someone else was about to. This happened 2 to 3 months ago. On to the next story. What to do with a cheating girlfriend. So I've been dating this girl for a few months and we have everything right. Right chemistry, same interest, and I believe we have found the one. I trusted her 100% in the beginning, but noticed something strange sometimes but paid it no attention. A couple of months back, I started to notice that she started to get texts from a guy that's really into her, and, I know this is wrong, I checked her phone. I know, I broke her trust and should come forward with it. I found out that she was flirting with this guy and even met up, but didn't really go any further. But when I asked her, just to poke around to see what she says, she completely denies it. She even took pictures of them drinking, but denies to even have met the guy. I wouldn't call this cheating, but lying and being dishonest made me have some trust issues in this relationship. Later, I struck the gold mine when I found out that she already had a boyfriend when we started dating, but was going to end it. Once I stayed over the night, and the ex came by in the middle of the night and caught her in bed with me. They basically had a long chat and her explanation was that I was just a colleague and nothing happened. Not true. Eventually, they stopped talking a while, but picked up the thread again, and seems like she just couldn't let go. Later, they even met up again. They had sex. She even said that she loves him and spends several nights with him, while she does the same with me. Those days she tells me that she needs alone time, and I respected that. And to him she says she's sleeping over at some relative's or at some friend's place. Recently, I tried to make her confess by pretending that someone knows what's going on and is going to spill the beans. This led to her stopping all contact with her ex and had to come clean with me. Even when I basically know everything, she still lies and pretends that nothing happened, but it's just a crazy ex stalking her. I'm fed up with the lies and the cheating. I want her to confess and come clean, but it doesn't seem like she's going to. I want to pretend that I got this info from her ex and see how she reacts. What do you guys think? First reaction from Silverwolf9669. She has all the characteristics you desire in a woman, except she's a liar and serial cheater. Unfortunately, deal breaker. She is not going to change. It is too engraved in her at this point. She may play nice for a while, but she will do it again. She has low morals and no conscience. Abbreviations FAR7867 chimes in. Dude, just dump her. Stop lying to yourself, trying to get her to confess what you already know and just ghost her or something. King C Gaming has a very enlightening thought. Leave. One more chime in from Zach Taylor 05. Just break up with her. On to the next story. I need to share today's event so I can feel a bit better. I just found out my girlfriend cheated on me today, and I question her loyalty through the whole relationship now. She went to sleep recently, and she still doesn't know that I know. She met her friend from abroad today, and I had very strange feelings about it. She basically barely knows him, and all of a sudden mentioned him 2 or 3 times in this conversation. Today she met him for a coffee, and I found out about it when they had already met. I teased her a bit about meeting him, even though I wasn't completely fine with how the whole thing developed, and I thought I'm overreacting maybe. Well, 2 hours ago, some guy is sending me messages requesting him and starting to talk some BS about her, on which I respond that he's acting like a teenager and should know better in his age. He's older than us, in his 30s. He tells me he can have her when he wants, but she's just a sex material and nothing more. I was still trying not to lower to his level and told him he really needed to get a life, and left seen on a couple of messages. As notifications were popping up constantly, I was about to block him when I saw he sent photo messages. Those were the screenshots of their chat, and I wasn't even mad about anything. I just couldn't believe who I spent all that time with. Guy literally hit on her in first message, declares he wants to screw her 15 minutes later, sends her some pic, and she sends him some pic, after which he offered her money for sex. Long story short, tons of screenshots later, and dozens of pics she sent him later, he sends the video of 2 of them, and not even sex, but literally pure, meaningless screwing. He even asked her, what would your boyfriend hate to know I did to you, and they did it. I just needed to take this off my chest. Not mad, don't want pity or anything, just feeling disgusted. First thought coming from Get Her Done, Idaho. Wake her butt up and tell her she has 20 minutes to get all of her crap and leave. Show her the evidence and call the police and have her arrested for prostitution. You have the evidence on your phone. Make her life a living hell. And our final thought from Significant Leg 4913. There's a word for women like her, though I don't like saying it. I believe the new term for it is, she was made for the streets. Tell her to get out, block her everywhere, forget you ever even knew her name.